So in this video we're going to continue on with placing our formwork elements for our columns. Now a situation that you guys might run into is one side of the formwork being shorter than the actual width of the column, and the reason for that is because if I click on my column you'll see that it's 600 by 750. So this side was actually dimensions so that it was 650. But what about the other side? The other side should have been set to the width of the column from that end. So if we look at the column from from this end, and you measure it using a ruler, your ruler, of course. If you go to your elevation view, have a look at the distance from here to there, you'd find that this is 750 mil. Now, one way of dealing with that is if I go and click on my ground floor, and it's that column right here. So you can see from a plan view that it's short by this amount and that amount. So one way of dealing with that is to actually extend. So if I click on the formwork element, I'll see these two arrows pop up at either ends. I can just drag these and maybe up until you reach the other end, and then do the same for the opposite end. And so now I've got all my column covered. If I look at it in 3D, if I look in the 3D, you see that now it has all been covered. Now the other thing that I want to show you is, if say I had these three formwork elements covering my column, I need to cover this part as well. So one easy way that I can do that is if I click on the element and then go use this button right here. So mirror, pick axis. So click on that and choose this, choose this grid reference, and your object is going to be mirrored to the other part of your column. Now if we double check, so we go to our 3D view, and you'll see that if I rotate, it looks alright. Right, so I've got these braces, my noggins, if you like, what holds together my formwork element in the correct, on the correct side. So it looks good. The other trick that I want to show you is if I'd already done that for one column, but the others I still got to do that. I still got to do the same instead of repeating all this process over again. What I can do is if I've got a symmetric building, I could again use that mirror object thing. So let's say this. So what's this distance over here? So if we measure that distance, this is 9,000. Okay, so halfway through is gonna be 4,500, right? So the way we do that is if we go to model line and just place a vertical line over here and specify its distance. So click on it, specify the distance, so that's it's midway, right? 4,500. Now we can use this as the axis to mirror all these formwork objects. So again, click on these formwork objects, and then use this button. Click on your model line that you just created midway between both these, and you'll see now that it appears on the other end of this column. We can of course do the same for these two. So again, measure the distance. So go over here, and let's see what that's 10,000, so that's 10 meters apart. Halfway through is 5,000, so we can go to architecture, select a model line, place a horizontal line now, and set this distance to 5,000, and then we can select these objects. So make sure you hold your control button on your keyboard when you're selecting these multiple elements, and then I can also do that. I can also select the objects at the other end as well at the same time, so I'll do that, and then let's mirror them on that axis. So click on this, choose the axis, and then you'll see that these formwork objects appear on the other side of the building. Let's have a look at it in 3D. So you'll see now that I've got all my formwork for my level 1 correctly placed around my comps.